The enterprise isn't without risk. It's possible audiences won't come or theatres might have to close again. But for those involved, it's a chance worth taking to provide a bit of Christmas cheer to end a dismal year. Will Gompertz, BBC News.
Well, we tried to end with a smile. That is it from the team for this week now on BBC One. Time for the news wherever you are. Good night.
Hello and welcome to the programme. The headlines. Bangor will go into local lockdown tomorrow evening after a cluster of cases linked to the city's student population. And as the First Minister warns coronavirus is waking up for winter, more details of the Chancellor's job support scheme. What will it mean for workers in Wales? Good evening, noswaith dda. Another ultra-local lockdown zone will come into force tomorrow. The Welsh Government has announced the city of Bangor in Gwynedd will be subject to tighter restrictions from 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. That's because cases there are now at over 400 per 100,000 people. It comes as the First Minister has warned that the virus is waking up for winter. Speaking in a press conference earlier, Mike Drakeford didn't announce any major changes to the restrictions on our daily lives, but he did say children will be allowed to leave lockdown areas to play sport. He also said he's ready to stop people who live in areas of the UK with high rates of the virus from travelling into Wales. That's if the UK government doesn't announce such restrictions on Monday. And over in Westminster, the Chancellor announced a new scheme today which could benefit Welsh workers. That's if their businesses have been legally forced to shut. Here's Jared Lawtham.
For a time over the summer months, the First Minister's updates often focused on lifting the restrictions on our daily lives. Shops reopened, pubs and restaurants got back to business for a while, and there were even holidays for some. But those times and the tone has now changed.
Here in Wales too, the virus is waking up for winter. The approach we are taking is to balance the need to act together, to turn back the tide of coronavirus, but only to restrict freedoms where we know that that has to be done.
The First Minister pointed to the rapidly rising rates of infection, particularly in North East Wales. Flintshire and Denbighshire are now well above 100 cases per 100,000 of the population. And the rates are rising rapidly in Gwynedd too. Tonight, a lockdown announced there, but not for the whole county. Just the city of Bangor, which will have restrictions in place from 6 p.m. tomorrow, with the Welsh Government concerned about a cluster of cases among the student population.
I am very pleased that they have agreed that in the first instance, Bangor should be under some form of restriction. That is where the main outbreak is. We will certainly be looking at the figures for Arfon and the other parts of the county as the days move on. We'll be having another meeting tomorrow, in fact.
With these local and hyperlocal lockdowns continuing to be implemented, there are growing concerns on the further impact this will have on the economy. Alex Jones employs 9 people at his wine bar in Wrexham, an area that's seen some of these steep rises in infection rates. As you'd expect, his business is suffering, and Alex, like others in the hospitality sector, are looking to the Chancellor for extra financial support during these unprecedented times. Today, Rishi Sunak confirmed if bars like his are forced to close, staff will get 2/3 of their wages paid by the UK government.
My concern is until the detail comes out, it sounds good, 67%, will we have to put money towards it? If we've got no trade coming through the door, where's that money going to come from? Also, if you don't have to put money to it, can people survive on 67% of their salary? It's a big cut to take and a big price to pay for this sector.
The Welsh Government admit many local restrictions they've introduced so far have not yet had time to work. But there is one glimmer of hope in Llanelli, where there has been a fall in cases. The leader of the opposition in the Senedd said the Welsh Government should be much more transparent in publishing the data used to make decisions on lockdowns.
At the end of the day, it seems to me that the hyper-lockdown areas are actually working. If you look at Llanelli, for example, it seems to me that the virus is reducing in that area, and that's the approach the Welsh Government should be taking, and that's why data is so important in all this, in fighting the virus.
There was one small amendment of lockdown rules announced today, which means children can once again cross a county boundary to take part in an organised sporting event. That change welcomed by Wendy Brady from Monmouthshire, who started a petition so her daughter Anya could carry on with her athletic training with the Newport Harriers.
And we're very excited because I haven't seen them for like 3 or 2 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks, and that's ages. And then I also get to see my coaches and then run on the track again.
Anya may be back on track, but with COVID rates rising once again, there is still a long way to go and many hurdles to overcome before this pandemic is defeated.
A further 766 people have tested positive for coronavirus in Wales, according to the latest Public Health Wales figures. It brings the total number of positive cases here to 29,028. There have also been a further 2 deaths with COVID-19 registered in Wales, taking the total number of deaths to 1,646.